guys, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be showing you how I make stew peas, guys, and I'm going to be working with this pigtail here, $11.80. Stew peas is another thing that Jamaicans love to cook. Okay, so I'm just going to be showing you how I make my stew peas. So let's get into the video. So guys, the first thing I'm going to get going in is the peas. I have a cup and a quarter peas, and I'm just going to be putting that's about 12 allspice. The allspice you don't have to put in the peas. Let me turn the stove on, guys, because this peas I should have it soaking. So I'm hoping it won't take long to cook. So with this, with over 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds of pigtail, I have a cup and a quarter here. And I'm just going to put in some garlic in the peas to cook. And I'm going to be using some of this coconut milk here. And as I told you, I had the allspice there. Allspice is optional if you want to put thyme, whatever you want to cook your peas with, right? Water for the peas. It's the peas, the water, and garlic is what you need to get going. That's much time in. Some people have cooked their pigtail and all this fat they cook it with. No, I can't enjoy pigtail with all this fat, so I have to get between. I'm gonna be getting between here, between this skin, and cut most of it out. This fat here, guys, I'm just gonna trim it, get rid of the excess, guys. This is fine, okay, but and this is garbage. This is garbage. I'm gonna throw this away. I get it as lean as possible. Everybody's different. Some people cook it with all that fat. I can't do it, guys. I don't enjoy it. That's too much fat. And I also don't like when the pigtail is hairy. Sometimes you buy the pigtail, it has hair on it. Just have my peas here cooking, and you adjust your flame on the peas, okay, if the water is boiling over. You don't want it to make a mess in the stove. Look at all the fat that I trimmed off the pigtail. The pigtail is looking better. And when buying your pigtail, guys, I don't like when my pigtail is discolored. If I go into the store and it's all hairy, like sometimes you feel the hair here, no, I don't buy it. It has to be like this color, like pink. I don't like when it's very white. I like when it's a bit pink. When I go to the store, they ask you like what size do you want it cut. If your pigtail is like in the bucket all cut up like this, these small pieces, that means maybe somebody bought it and didn't want it and put it back in the bucket. But if you buy it in long pieces, that's the way you should get it, right? You take it to the counter, you ask them, they ask if you want it to be cut small, medium, or large. This is medium size, and in whatever size you want to have it cut. I like when they cut them round. Okay, you get the long piece of pigtail, you ask them to cut them round. The difference between the stew peas and the soup, the pea soup, the pea soup has like all the food stuff. It's somewhat like the chicken foot soup, just that you use the peas and the pigtail for vinegar. As it's not about just cooking the pigtail and making it look nice and palatable and enjoyable, okay? It's also about what you do before you cook it and you consume it, okay? So I have the vinegar here, and I'm just showing you that I'm rubbing my hands against the skin to make sure it's washed clean, okay? That's very important. It's not just about looks good and tastes good and all that. Like, you have to clean whenever you're cooking, whether it's meat or vegetables, clean whatever it is that you're preparing in vinegar, salt, or whatever. I don't need to wash this in salt because this is a salty like the salt. But after I wash it 4 times, then I catch water, and the 4th time put thyme in the peas. I have 4 to 5 cloves of garlic, and then in the pigtail I'm gonna put half of this or 3/4 of this entire thing. I put this much until later on I'll put more allspice. I'm gonna have to make spinners, the dumpling. Then I put 4 cloves of garlic, the thyme that I showed you, and you see, and now it comes to a boil. So 5 minutes after this, I'm gonna pour this water off because it's salty, guys. So I have to cook the salt off, right? So 3 times is good enough for me, and then it will be fresh enough to eat. Oh, there's the peas. I have it cooking. Pigtail is ready. I'll be pouring that peas mixture with the water onto the stew peas to cook with, but I couldn't do it together with the pigtail at first because remember, the pigtail, as I said, it's salty. Giving it 5 minutes to cook out some of the salt, and then I'm gonna pour it off and put fresh water. When I'm pouring the water off, I pour it through the strainer, so that it catches the pimento seed and the garlic, because I'm going to be putting it back in. So guys, while the pigtail is cooking in the second fresh water, I'm just gonna, this is my flour, cup of flour, and I'm adding spelt flour to this. A quarter cup of spelt flour. So you know, your flour however you want to make it. That's all. I'm gonna mix it with the spelt flour. Some people would rather have cornmeal and then put a little salt in it. 2-3 pinches of salt. You don't need a lot of salt because the pigtail is salty, so you don't even have to put salt in your flour. So after I pour off the water the last time, and there I just put like a quarter cup of water in this, not too much. And then I'm gonna be adding the peas. This is the peas that was cooking, okay? You pour it on it. I like to knead my flour and have it sitting for a while covered, because it's easier to handle when you're ready to knead the dough. That's the amount of water I have. I don't want to have too much water in it. See, it's not too soft, not too tough. And this time I can take it off, but it's just the stem left, so I'm just gonna be adding fresh thyme to this. If you find your pot bubbling too loud, then the flame is too high. I'm just gonna season this pot, guys. Put fresh thyme because now it's time to cook to get that stew. Okay, and this much allspice, fresh allspice. I'm gonna be putting the Maggi here. It's kind of like you're seasoning the meat, right, guys? But you're seasoning the stew. 2 tablespoons of this Maggi I put. 1/3 cup coconut milk, because the coconut takes, you know, coconut can hurt your belly, guys, if it's not cooked. You want to make sure you put it early enough so it can cook before it's time to turn the stove on. So if after the 3rd time you scald your pigtail, it's still salty, you can do it 4 or 5 times, right? And this is tasting good. It tastes really good. It's not salty. I'm gonna put fresh garlic. I'm gonna put this much green onion. Okay, guys, because I like to season my pot, and I'm gonna put some onion. Teaspoon of black pepper is good. Half of the 1 bulb here of garlic, and to the, while it was scalding, the salt, and then the other half I put to cook. So I have like 5 pegs of garlic. I'm just gonna put the liquid Scotch bonnet pepper here. What's left to cook is just the flour here. I'm gonna make the spinners for you to see. As you notice, there's not too much water in the pot, guys, so it's best to, you know, cook with not too much water, because remember, you're trying to make a gravy here, a thickness, a stew, right? So you don't want to have too much water and then it spoils it. I'm gonna give it like 5-10 more minutes, and I put the spinners in, let it cook some more. And here are my spinners that I'm gonna be adding. Okay, guys, so I just roll it, put it in my hand there, and roll it like this with motion this way, the same way I rolled the festival. It's just that this flour is only the flour with the water and salt, okay? But it's basically the same way, this motion, and you've got the spinners there. And also I made some round ones. As long as you make your flour, guys, you can make it in whatever shape. See, I have some round ones here, whatever shape you want to make them in, but spinners is what we call them, and this is the spinners. And Jamaicans love stew peas. Guys, also stew peas can be made with salt beef, but I don't see the need. It's not necessarily. I like mostly, I don't like to chew on the salt beef. Even when you cook it, I find it to be too dry and trashy. I like to cook my pigtail with cook my stew peas with just the pigtail. And some if you don't eat pork, guys, some people, they cook oxtail. They cook oxtail stew peas because they don't eat pork, right? The only thing is that you don't have to be scalding off anything, because there's no salt on the oxtail. It's a good idea to soak the pigtail, but I didn't have this pigtail soaking overnight. The pigtail you can have soaking, and also the peas, so that the next day, or when you're ready to cook, you don't have to be waiting too long to get the salt away from it, and then also the peas cooks faster. But sometimes you want to cook a certain dish and you haven't really planned to do it, you end up not having getting the chance to soak, you know. And pigtail, guys, we keep it at the bottom. If you buy it and then you're gonna be cooking it the next day, you can keep it at the bottom of the fridge. But, and then, see guys, but then this pigtail, I did not use it right away, so I put it in the freezer. It's a bit thick, guys. It's thick. I can tell it's too thick, and the flour is just gone in. So, like, slowly add your water. So, because I don't want this to be turned into pea soup, because I'm not making pea soup. It's enough water. I'm gonna turn the flame down low and cook it for like 20 minutes to half an hour. And the seasoning is good. I don't need to add anything more. Now, if I had a Scotch bonnet pepper, I would put it on top, but I'm good. I don't really need it. I'm gonna be cooking some white rice because that's what that's the accompaniment for stew peas white rice. So guys, remember to check your stew, stir it so that it doesn't stick. I cut up a whole onion and added it to it. So then I have 15 minutes before I turn the stove off, guys. The skin here, you know, pork is tough, so this goes through easily. So I'm good to go. I just want to make sure, I'm going to give it some more time so that the dumpling can cook. The spinners, I'm going to, you know, cook it on low flame for like 10 to 15 more minutes. And that, guys, you see this is thick enough. Thick enough. This is somewhat like what the pea soup look like, but this pea soup has more water. It would be all the way up to here with food yam and stuff like that. But this is the stew peas. This is, you know, your stew for your rice. And this is what you're gonna enjoy. Your pigtail. Some people, my mom, she used to cook it with salt beef, but I don't really love salt beef. So whenever I'm cooking my stew peas, I only cook it with a pigtail. Okay, guys, and some people cook pigtail stew peas with oxtail because they don't eat pork, and I love the oxtail one also. So guys, the stew peas is done, and as you can see, the gravy is very thick. The white rice steamed with cabbage. There is the stew peas and rice, guys, looking good. Here is the white rice, and the main focus is on the stew peas made from pigtail. Guys, see the spinner, the dumpling, and this is what we call the spinners. The roly-poly one. And this is the pigtail, all cooked. When you prick your pork, it should be soft. Okay, guys, and I'll taste for you to see. Comment down below and let me know if you've had stew peas before. I'm going to be tasting this for you to see. This is the spinners, the spinners, the dumpling, the pigtail. I do not like when my pigtail has hair on it. You guys, pigtail is cooked. Should be chewable. It's tasty. With the rice. I love stew peas, guys. And for those of you that do not like pork, guys, you can also make the stew peas from the oxtail. So guys, if you like this video, please give the video a thumbs up. Remember that I upload on a Tuesday and a Thursday. And don't forget to share the video with your friends. And tell them to subscribe also, okay guys? And please comment down below. Thanks for joining me in another video. And I am enjoying the stew peas. It's good, really good. It's not salty, just right. Not spicy. Thank you guys, and you enjoy the rest of your day.